Hey y'all, so on this episode, I am going to discuss three things that as a first time mommy, I'm just not allowing, period. So let's get into it. This video may ruffle some feathers, and I am perfectly fine if you don't agree with what I'm saying. This is my experience, this is my channel, and on this channel, I voice my opinion on certain topics. So let's get into it. I feel like this is just like self-explanatory. For those who get it, get it. And for those who don't, let me explain it to you. Children have a very weak immune system. Adults, some adults, have a strong immune system. Adults do adult things with their mouth and can pass down certain diseases and STDs by kissing a baby. When I was growing up, I never kissed any adults on the lips. I would kiss my mom on her cheek or on her forehead, and same with my dad. So no, we are not doing the kissing the baby on the lips. Not at all. Number two, my child is not allowed to spend the night at certain people's homes. And this gonna ruffle some feathers, but many people keep their homes unkept, unclean, and can be a health hazard. So no, my child will not be able to spend a night at certain people's homes. So many people, homes that I've been to, especially as a young girl, their homes were uninhabitable. And my mother was very, very adamant about not allowing her children to spend the night at certain people's homes. And as a kid, you really don't know better. You just want to have fun and be around your friends and your family. Another reason why I will not allow my child to spend the night at certain people's homes is because bad habits are hard to break. Bad habits are hard to break. I truly believe that children record everything that they see through their eyes and literally record everything that they hear through their ears. So I don't want my child to be picking up derogatory languages. I don't want my child to be picking up disrespectful behavior. I don't want my child to be picking up just certain bad behaviors, especially when it comes to people who keep their homes unclean and unkept. Certain behaviors are extremely hard to break once you have been raised in those type of environments. And I get it. Parenting is exhausting, it's tiring, but I rather guide my child and protect my child to the best of my ability. And I remember as a little girl, I think I was like 13, 14 years old, my dad said, you will experience enough bad in the world that I am not exposing you to bad things. And what he meant by that is drinking, smoking, cursing. My dad did not curse. Like, I have never heard my dad curse. And not many people can say that, right? Because when parents get frustrated, they curse. When parents get frustrated, they get aggressive. When parents get frustrated, they get violent. They get physical with the child because they have not built a certain connection with the child. And a lot of parents want to be the children's friends, but my dad and my mom always said, we're not friends. I can be friendly. I can be cordial, but my purpose here is to guide you so that you can be an independent, civilized, respectable adult. That's my duty, to provide you with all the things you need so that you can go out into the world and be the best person that you can be. We are not friends. And still to this day, there are like certain boundaries that I have and certain respect that I have for my parents. So growing up, I was like, Ma, like, you're so strict. Like, I didn't understand why my mother was so strict. But y'all, I am so grateful that I grew up with the mother that I grew up with and the parents that I grew up with, because seeing certain things, even as a child, going into other people's homes was like unbelievable. Unbelievable. You have so many people who just drop their kids off, never go into the home, and they just need a peace of mind. They just need a break. And I understand that. But me, as a first time mom, will not allow my child to spend the night at certain people's homes. And that includes family and that includes friends as well. Because, as I stated, some people keep their homes unclean, unkept, and uninhabitable. I remember as a little girl going into people's homes, and some of the things that I've seen as a kid, now that I'm an adult and I'm about to be raising my own child, I'm just like, so much dysfunction and chaos. Another thing that I will not be doing around my child is walking around the house in inappropriate clothing, in my panties and my bra. And if y'all don't know, if y'all new to my channel, I grew up in Marcy Projects, one of the worst low income communities in Brooklyn. So I've seen a lot of stuff at a very early age. And I'm so grateful that I grew up in a grounded, kept clean, organized, stable household. Mind you, my mom raised 6 children. 6 children. Yes, I have a great relationship with my dad, but there was no man in the house. Let me say that. There was no man in the house. So I had friends who I would go to their homes and the adults would be walking around in their underwears and their bra. And it was just very uncomfortable because that is not how I was raised. Like my mom wore gowns and pajamas and she made sure we had pajamas. We didn't walk around with short shorts on as little kids. Um, y'all, my mom didn't even allow us to wear belly tops. So she was very, very conservative. Things have changed, and I do understand that with time, some things may change when it comes to how people parent their children. But this is just my experience. Certain things I didn't even feel comfortable talking about in front of my parents or actually doing in front of my parents, wearing in front of my parents. Even when I became an adult, I just felt uncomfortable. I don't curse around my mom. I don't curse around my dad. I don't curse around any of the adults. You know how when we were younger, and I was born in 1992. So I would consider myself a 90s baby, early 2000s. That was the era that I grew up in. I remember being a little girl, certain things that other people in the neighborhood were wearing, I was just uncomfortable wearing those things. And one, I was not even allowed to wear those things, first off. But certain things, certain behaviors just made me not feel like myself because of the morals and principles that I was raised on. Nowadays, the kids nowadays are more grown, more mature, looking and acting than the actual adults. And I don't blame the children. I blame the lack of parenting. I blame the lack of intentional parenting. Technology, y'all, technology is not going to raise my child. When I was in undergrad at the Borough of Manhattan Community College, and I was working at H&M and Forever 21, that was the first time that I actually bought my own cell phone. And I was like 19, 20. From the time I was in elementary school all the way up until I was in high school, I did not have a cell phone. So I don't understand why some children have cell phones at such a young age. But I realized that, like I said before, a lot of people are not intentional when they parent. A lot of people are allowing the phones to raise their children, the tablets to raise their children. Like I said, I was born in the 90s. So I remember my dad saying, you know, the television is the dumb box. He used to call television a dumb box. And In my mom and in my dad's house, there was only one TV. One TV. We didn't even have a TV in our bedrooms. And I appreciate that because the bedroom is for you to actually relax, to allow your mind to slow down, to allow you to sit with your thoughts. You know how many people can't sit with their thoughts? I remember going to family members' homes and friends, and the television was always on. It's like there was never a sense of silence. And because of the society we live in, some people are just so uncomfortable with just silence. They feel like they either always got to be talking or something always has to be entertaining them. So, no, my child will not have a cell phone. I will not allow the television to babysit my child or raise my child. I will not allow the tablets to raise my child. I definitely want to raise my child in which they are indulged in nature, going to museums, going to the libraries, things of that sort, because that is how I was raised. And it definitely has helped me with my mental health. It definitely has helped me be able to just sit with myself, right? I don't have to have the TV on. I don't have to always be on my cell phone. I don't have to always be on my laptop. And I do understand that this is a society that is ran on like technology. But if you do the research, a lot of this is created to be just a distraction. A lot of this is created to rotten the brain. And yeah, I'm just not raising my baby to be hooked on something that's probably more addictive than drugs.